G'day YouTube. I thought I'd show you over my Series 2 VY SS race car. Bought it in 2018 as a defected car as a bit of a project for my son and I to go hill climbing and circuit sprinting. So it started off as a fairly standard thing. I wanted to make it nice and safe, so yeah, upgraded the brakes initially with some SSZ brakes all round with 4000 series rotors. They're a good thing. They've got thicker rotors than the standard, so they don't warp. What else do? We put the velo seat in it and the velo harnesses, and it's got a Bond roll cage, which is really good. I really liked it, and I got to talk with Mr. Bond when I bought it, and he's a classic old guy. He told me all the stories about Dick Johnson racing and all the rest of it, his time of building cars, so that was good, and it's all about the people you meet along the journey. The sun sort of, I wasn't helping a great deal, I guess, so I decided that it was probably time to up the power and go a bit silly. I've had turbo cars before and couldn't drive them, and thought, what would be better, having a V8 turbo that now you can't drive, as in get any traction. So it's good fun. But anyway, yeah, started looking at Richard Holder videos, and he was sort of explaining how easy it was to get shitloads of power out of LS's. And Laffy, I think it's Laffy's turbo 1-tonner build. That was a great reference for putting this thing together. So I've basically followed everything that he said, and I'd highly recommend it. So I started off with a standard LS1 in it, which was a good thing. Like it didn't actually blow up. So I was only running 10 pounds, and I'm still only running 10 pounds, which is plenty enough for what I want to do. So just been developing it for the last, like I said, 18, bought it in 2018, so what's that, 7 years. So the turbo kit, start off here, GT45, Chinese clone thing, but they are a good thing. Like, I've had no problems with this. That runs out, the exhaust runs out a 4-inch dump, and you'll see it later, I've sort of merged it into the standard exhaust. A 50mm wastegate, which goes to a screamer pipe, which just goes out there. You can cruise it round without sort of getting on boost and making noise, but when you do get on boost, it screams. The intercooler comes through there, out the front. That's all pretty cool. So had to move the battery, obviously, to chuck that through there and cut all the tinware out from behind the headlight. And what else have we got up here? So boost controller, that's a 3-port boost controller, fully programmable. A guy in the States does those, and it's really good. It's like you can tune in every gear under different loads, under different throttle positions. Yeah, it's fun to play with, and has actually been pretty good in the hill climbs. You can step it off the line, off the spring, say 5 pounds, and then second, third, fourth, go up to 10 pounds and just run it, with lots of power in other gears. What else we got here? 1000cc injectors. That is an idiot light for fuel pressure. So if you drop fuel pressure, if it goes under 30 psi, big light comes on the dash. Got a dash 10 feed coming up through the regulator, then to a dash 8 return. Still got ABS. That's the breathing system. Basically, let it breathe, and that goes down to another can down there. So I set it up with the radiator initially in the front of the car, so that all fits with the radiator. Then I sort of started looking at what the cool kids and the drifters were doing, and decided to put the radiator in the boot as another project. And it's worked really well. So Davies Craig does a external water pump. This is the adapter that you put onto where the water pump the original water pump goes. Yeah, so I got a feed here, which is just to bleed it, basically the radiators in the boot with the cap. Yeah, made up a different bracket setup here, so you can run, like that's the only thing on the pulley, so it's just running the alternator. It's got a Astra power steering pump, electric power steering pump. Yeah, the feed comes off down there, and we've got the oil cooler up the front. I reckon that's it for the front. So yeah, in the cage, we've got the cage. So for the, I'll show you underneath again, but for the cage, like I said, is a bond cage. So I've got the fuel cell in the back. So this is a firewall to stop any fuel and nasties coming forward. So it's completely sealed. This is the water running through, and again I'll show you where that is underneath. So you've got in and out, and the radiator's obviously behind that, which I'll show you. Got the battery in there, and also got the another fuse box and relay box for controlling the fans and the water pumps and the fuel pump. Yeah, okay, we'll go inside the cab. So we've got, you can turn it on, and then you turn it on. So that's your Davies Craig fan and water pump controller. That red light's your fuel pressure. So you've got power steering, you've got fuel pumps, which won't come on until I do that. So you've got two 044s wired up there. So when you're cruising around, you just run a one pump, you don't run two pumps. You got to remember to turn the second pump on when you, I'll turn that off, when you're going for it. What else we got here? We got a boost controller, which is the top one, so you can select different programs. You've got 6 programs, and that's the O2 sensor. I forgot the name of whatever it is. I'll get to it. Yeah, so in the boot, well, we have the radiator. So this is all 40mm copper. With the ends, I just got a little a flaring tool and made up flares and made up all the rubber joints. But it's all works. It's been in the thing for a couple of years now. So that's your Perspex rear window, and this is a little deflector to get air in. So once the air's coming over the car, it hits that and goes into the boot. Yeah, so for transport, I put the original window back on and just strap it down, so it keeps all the rain and the bugs and everything out of it. So there into the back, we've got the fuel cell with the two 044s down there, hiding down next to it. That's all on a cradle that I made up, and this stuff is the same as roll bar material. Fabbed all that up. So the idea is if you get hit up the arse, that's not going to crush. This will push the whole back of the car forward. And I'll show you the cradle underneath, but it's got a toe point and a jacking point incorporated into it. So that's pretty cool. Astra power steering pump. That is about it for the back. Oh yeah, and that's your vent. So the air comes in here through the radiator. So the fans suck it through there and then vents out there. So So if you're at a hill climb and it's a bit chilly, you just turn the car on, you stand here and it's beautiful. So, all right, we'll go up now. Oh, hello. The hoist is sounding a bit dead. Come on, baby. Yeah, so, okay, so it was a 5.3, which is under there. I've upgraded it now to it was a 5.7 LS1 standard engine. So I've upgraded it to a 5.3, like a Gen 4 5.3 from the States. Yeah, basically stock bottom end, got it all machined, new rings, ring gapped. Brian Tui Racing Stage 2 cam, 243 heads, which I should have showed you up there. What else? LS1, LS6 manifold, which is basically LS1. 1000cc injectors, yeah, but yeah, so Gen 4 I use same as LS2 structure, so it's got the knock sensors on the side of the block, so you just have to do different wiring and it picks up the cam at a different spot as well, which is at the front of the engine up here. So yeah, so we've got the oil cooler, so the oil cooler runs out there. So the only thing at the front, you've got the intercooler and the oil cooler, so you get lots of air into it. When it was getting tuned, Matt from LS Custom Tuning, thank you, Matt, he said, yeah, the inlet temps were really good, as you'd imagine, not having all that heat at the front. What do we got? We got all the fancy bushes and stuff. These mounts are really good. I forgot where I got those from, but yeah, they've still got some rubber in it, so it's not solid, but the engine doesn't move. Yeah, so that's the water. Now I've forgotten which one it is. That one comes out, that goes in. So I've just got 40mm copper running underneath the standard manifold. Made up some brackets for that. So then that runs back to there, and then just got these flexi hoses that come down here. Then again, the old plumbing, 40mm copper with brackets again, come through here, and then that goes into the cabin. So I made this all up, so it's all sealed, and those hoses inside, I forgot to say, they are hydraulic hoses. So they're rated at 90,000 PSI or whatever. So I'm not going to get any hot water on me in the cabin. It's just going to be one of these. But anyway, it all works. So that's the water system. Hopefully I haven't been looking at the camera, just talking. So this is the standard manifold. This is for the turbo now. So this is the standard manifold. Comes over, this is a crossover pipe I made up, and I've got some heat deflector shit that I found from under here, and then just whacked it round that to keep it off the heat off the power steering, and same with that's a bit of a deflectory thing. Keep going with that. So that feeds into a log manifold, which is all heat protected as well. So it goes from 2 1/4 into 3 inch, and then that feeds, that feeds the turbo. So the other exhaust joins it there, and then it goes into the turbo, which you can't really see. I'll try and just go back. So then, 4 inch down to here. I reckon that might be 3 1/2 here, or 4. I can't remember. No, I guess 4. Through to this, and then that goes back into the standard exhaust. So I've set it up so, you like that? Set it up so it goes back into the standard exhaust, and yeah, runs out there. So this is the cradle I made up for the fuel cell. So like I said, it's made out of the roll bar material, what's it called, CDW or TWD, something or other. Anyway, strong as fuck. And it's, yeah, I thought I did a pretty good job of that. That's all pretty fancy. That's a rubber mat underneath it to protect it from chips and stuff. So they're the two 44s that run up to the front. So that's your dash 10 going up the front, and that's your dash 8 coming back to the fuel cell. This is your rollover protection for the fuel cell, so that goes to the other side of it. Yeah, so two dash 10 lines coming out into filters. So there's filters before the fuel pumps, which I think are 40 micron from memory. Comes out of the pump, then runs down here, which I've cut a channel into the chassis, so we can keep them up without sort of doing this as a stand. This is what the factory does, but I got that much shit or that much stuff running down there that I needed to cut a channel in there. So, oops, cut the channel in there. Then ran it through, so the dash 10, then that runs through a 100 micron filter. And that's your power steering. So that goes to the Astra pump. So that's the pressure line, some heat blanket over it or whatever. That's the return. Yeah, I reckon we're getting there. Oh, the diff. The diff's got a CAS 1.5 centre in it. That's to remind me what to put in there. If you don't put mineral oil in there, it's not good for the clutch plates, and you definitely need the anti-shutter. That was a game changer. I ran it without anti-shutter for a little bit and it wasn't nice. Yeah, so I've got one high strength drive shaft, and I never actually got around to putting the other one in. That's just a standard one. But the idea of that was back in the day when I had the surge tank here. I wanted, if one broke, I wanted it to be that one, not this one. I didn't really want an axle flapping around hitting my petrol tank. I think that's about it. Yeah, it's got SLs, King Springs all around with shocks. Yeah, I think that's it. It's a good thing. I'll fire it up now. Oh yeah, and don't like or subscribe to this. Now, I don't normally put E85 in it. I've got to move it, so I've got some E85 in it, and it hasn't started for probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 months. So, that's right, yeah, T56 with a B&M shifter. So what do? We turn the fuel pump on, we turn that on, and we push the button. And it always likes to go on the second one. Or maybe the third one. It's got oil pressure, that's always a good thing. Yeah, it's too hard to get in it. As I said, that's been sitting here for months. E85.